is my Creative Practice 3 presentation, and I'll start off by giving you a description of the work that the body of work that I aim to produce, and that is a photographic piece of work that will continue on from my SP3 project, and the work will consist of images that we mounted to professional standard. Many things have influenced my passion for photography, from my time travelling around the world whilst in the Navy, to taking family shots as my children grow up. However, my influences for this project have stemmed from a project that I had previously completed before starting my degree. This drew my attention to some photographers that I hadn't come across before. The first being Eric Curry, which is the top left-hand corner photograph. His use of light and how he illuminates his subjects to create an optimum visual experience. I also looked at Stephen Reinhardt, not so much for the way he photographs, but for what he photographs. When I look through his webpage, to me it seems like he takes the images of what is around him. Even though the images are not bursting full of colour, they're full of texture, shapes and curves. The last photographer I chose to look at was Thomas Parry. His choice was purely for his use of colour. They are vibrant colours which for me produce an emotional response. Issues and design problems. The issues that I've come across with this will be having to fill out relevant risk assessment forms, which would all be filled out before filming, and taking still images. Also model release forms and or under 18 consent forms would be filled out and signed accordingly. All health and safety would be adhered to both personally and with any equipment necessary. Research. Most of my research was conducted whilst at my work-based learning placement, which is demonstrated within my weekly blog. I have improved my knowledge of Photoshop whilst at the engine room, as well as Final Cut Pro, with the help of others with their ongoing projects that came into the drop-in sessions. I was able to learn and use a combination of different software programs. Exploring other web pages of other photographers gave me the distinct impression that the work I intend to produce will have a place in today's market. My long-term and short-term strategy. For my graduation, I was planning on going straight on to do a BA Honours top-up, and from there either going on to gain some experience with an already established company, or going self-employed as a fine art photographer. Due to health reasons, I'm taking a few gap years, which I do then intend to either go on to do my top-up, or I will go through, get some experience with a photographer, and then do my top-up. So, but I do intend to finally have my BA Honours. My mission with my business plan. Now that I see that my work is more in fine art photography genre, my website will be my main focus for a restructure, and to promote it better by using social media, by uploading images, up-to-date images, and sharing with all the social media sites. I'll be able to show some of my work at local galleries to be able to gain some initial feedback. Startup expenses and requirements. I've already purchased my camera and numerous lenses. I am looking into purchasing another tripod that will be a lot heavier than the one I already own. if I decide to go freelance and set up on my own business, then I'd have to acquire some premises and also reflective tables, backdrops and lighting tents as a basic startup package. With pricing, I plan on pricing my work within a realistic reach. But also taking into consideration printing costs, framing and mounting. Whilst carrying out my research, I realised that some of my work is quite unique compared to the competitors, and by having a distinct and stylish image, it could be possible to charge slightly higher prices. This is my personal development plan, which I don't think it's very clear on board. I'm a lot more confident with my presentation skills from my first to my second year, and this will be shown through my final grade, hopefully. My confidence is soared by working with the engine room. They have spent a lot of one-to-one time working with all the software that I'll need to use as a photographer. I've been working with clients one-to-one, making meetings, arranging times, making sure that I reach all my deadlines. And I worked as a team as well with filmmakers within the engine room, where they were doing the filming and then we did the editing together, or in the end they allowed me to do the editing on my own, and they were quite confident with my work. So, but yeah, that's my end of presentation, which is a bit...
Thank you. Brilliant, okay.
It was very nerve-wracking.
Yeah, no, that must have been really...
That was hard.